Hello, everybody. Welcome again. You're listening to the GGRated.net live show. We are here at episode 24, and I am the Iceman. And joining us is Hydra. How you doing, Hydra?
Doing good and thrilled. I just sat down to watch the GSL matches, and it was fun. Fairly short, fairly brief, but we're gonna go through that soon enough. But yeah, it was cool. Was cool.
Awesome. Yeah, there's plenty of exciting results to talk about today, so I'm glad we could finally get together and go over all the cool stuff we had and some enjoyable matches, I would say, that took place this past week. What you think?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I spent a lot of time this week watching the IPL, winners bracket, losers bracket. I basically watch almost every game. I'm still missing some of the matches played today, but it's getting really exciting. I'm loving that tournament. And obviously for me, the big news this week, especially here for the foreign side of the community, might be related to the GSTL. I think we're going to have a big congrats to give to QXC, but in due time, we'll get there as well.
Definitely. Yeah, that's for sure one of the big highlights of the news this week. If you guys are wondering, Sebastian is not here this week. He's again at work, so a bit disappointed. But Hydra and I are still here, carrying the torch as always, and we're going to do our best
Yeah,
to bring all the awesomeness. And I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy what we have today for you.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Hydra, I don't think I can wait much longer to discuss the stuff that happened in Korea over the past week. Why don't we start with the Code S and move into GSTL and stuff right away? Sound
Sure,
good?
no problem. Yeah, yeah,
All
just
right, I'll get the VOD rolling and I'll let you take it away.
go for it. Well, I'm going to start with Code S.
Yep.
The matches have been pretty exciting in my modest opinion. Quite some interesting matchups, especially on the round of eight. I think it was pretty cool. Though today's matchups, they were nice, they were fine, but there was kind of a big gap between the players clashing against each other, or at least today on this specific moment things were not exactly on par, and we ended up with some really big difference on the results, but we'll get there. Starting with the round of eight, we had some interesting results, some nice matchups. With I am Nesty facing one of the stars on the rise from Team Zenex, Zenex Coca. But Nesty is just merciless, he's just ruthless. He doesn't give a chance to absolutely no one, and defeated Coca 3-0, just clear cut there. Crushed Coca, bye bye, just move along. I want to go for that third title of mine. Yeah, Nasty basically is aiming for that third title of his, and I think it's well deserved. I mean, the guy has been really
He's
solid.
a beast, man.
Yeah, yeah, completely solid, and just showing everyone that he has what it takes as a Zerg, and if you know what you're doing playing as a Zerg, you will get those wins. I
Yep.
mean, he's just solid, even when other pro gamers, and some of them quite famous, keep complaining about Zerg, he just says, what are you on about? Oh my god, against Protoss, it's so imbalanced, so bad, and ST just so up saying, I don't get what he's talking about. For me, Protoss is the best matchup. So he knows something that the rest of the scene is missing for some reason.
Yeah, and
What I just
that's one thing that I really love about Nesty, and I really respect him for that. You don't
Yeah,
hear him ever complaining about imbalance, and he just, he works with what he's got, and
yeah.
I mean, he knows the secret and he knows the formula right now to how Zerg works correctly, and I wish more people would spend more time trying to learn that and trying to adapt to that instead of, maybe using
Well,
the imbalance complaint as a crutch.
I'm pretty sure he commits a lot of his time during the week. There's
Yeah.
some long,
Oh yeah,
grueling
obviously.
hours of training there, and he's training with the best. I mean, he's on one of the top teams in Korea, Team Incredible Miracle.
Hmm.
Then his ladder is probably the hardest ladder in the whole world currently. My personal opinion, you guys can disagree if you feel like it, but meaning that he's on an environment that if you commit yourself, if you have the time, if you have the conditions, you're going to be so fine-tuned that you get to the point where Nasty is. And
Hmm.
respect for him. I mean, the guy's playing Zerg since the beginning. Don't forget that this guy, back in the Brood Wars days, his nickname was Zergbong, so the guy is Zerg all the way, and he's been doing fine, so congrats to him. And like I was saying, on the round of 8, he defeated Coca 3-0. Then we had Hongan Prime facing against OGS MC, and most of the people were saying, oh my god, MC is going to crush Hongan Prime. This is going to be awesome, because then we're going to have a chance of watching Nasty versus MC, or something like that, or at least they were hoping for that to happen on the finals. And the fact is that Hongan Prime defeated MC 3-1, and
So that's a
I'm pretty sure.
surprise.
I'm pretty sure it ruined some bets that people were doing,
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
those liquid bets and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure some people got them ruined. And
Hmm.
Hungan Prime was just solid, played very well. He was quite good on this current GSL, very solid on his play throughout the whole tournament, and was able to just stand his ground against OGS MC, did quite well. MC was able to take a game off him, but he did what he had to do, defeated MC, clear win there, 3-1. Congrats to Hungan Prime. It's also a sign that the Korean scene has a lot of top gamers. It's not like only 2 or 3 guys dominating the scene. There's always someone coming up that might stand a chance of defeating him if he has everything on his favor, and I guess that Hungan Prime was on one of those days and just took advantage of it. 3-1 facing MC, congrats. He passed there on the round of 8. And then we had Trickster, also known as SSKS and Sagisu, and
Sagisu.
yeah, he had a million names before,
Hmm.
and Tester as well. He's been doing quite well. I'm not sure if it's related with the fact that he moved teams, as you know. He
Hmm.
was on Team TSL, now he's on Team StarTale. But what I do know is that seems like he might be feeling more motivated. He got to the round of 8 here on this GSL this month.
Hmm.
Did quite well, and well, he only lost to Lozira on a really close matchup. I would recommend people to sit down and watch this best out of 5 because it was a pretty cool one. Lozira was able to win 3-2 over him, and Lozira is a beast. I mean, I can imagine him on Team Incredible Miracles house, sitting with Nasty on his left and MVP on his right, and other players like that, I am Seed, and if we're mentioning Protoss, and he's just trying to test all the openings, all the builds, so he can have all the counters and all the answers to face any opponent that might show up in front of him. And here it was a really close call, like I mentioned before, 3-2 for Lozira, but Trickster was solid, played very well. I'm glad to see Trickster climbing up the tournament ladder once more and showing up on these final stages of the GSL once more, because he has been struggling a bit, at least for the last couple of months. And I'm happy to see him back because he was probably the most menacing Protoss back on the beta days from Starcraft 2, and we might be seeing him coming back from the ashes. That would be pretty cool. Still, he got defeated here against Lozira, was a worthy opponent. Let's see what he does on the next GSL. And then the final match from this round of 8 was Zenex Bian against Startail Bomber. Kind of a big matchup here as well. Bian is another of the players that have been doing pretty well from Team Xenex. A comment I would like to make is that these players, they're not like new. They didn't fall from the sky yesterday into Team Xenex. They've been around Team Xenex for a while, but all of a sudden seems like they're evolving a lot. I'm not sure if the practice partners on Team Xenex changed, if the environment there or the training posture, the training methods change in any way, but we are seeing some results. I mean, Team Xenex was able to bring 2 players to the round of 8, Coke and Xenex Bian. And on this matchup, Zenex Bian versus Startail Bomber, Zenex Bian was able to win 3-2. So another really intense matchup, another one that I would recommend. And he was able to defeat Startail Bomber, who was a fairly hyped up player at least a couple of months ago, 2-3 months ago. He was quite hyped up. He is a solid player, no questions about that. But seems like that Bian is on the rise. Maybe he's the next superstar, and he was able to defeat him. Again, a close series, a really close matchup, and should be missed by any StarCraft 2 fan. If you have the chance, just sit down and watch it, because there's a lot to learn there. What came out of these results was that we had IMNST on the semifinals facing Hungan Prime and Lozira facing Zenex Bian. So 2 Zergs on the semifinals against 1 Protoss and 1 Terran. And these games happened this morning here in Europe, morning. I actually sat down at the office with my headphones, pretending that I was working, and just was watching the GSL matchups, and I watched both of these matches. In my opinion, they were interesting, but both of them, they were very clear-cut in favor of the Zergs. Nasty and Lozira felt like they were at least a couple of steps ahead of their opponents. I am Nasty 3, Hungan Prime 0, I am Lozira 3, Zenex Bian 0. So no contest, no chance whatsoever. Nasty is so, I don't know, like cold-blooded killer, you know what I mean? Just he's sitting there, he's always ahead of his opponent. He knows what's going to happen
calm
next.
And yeah, just so
Yeah, like Like he knows what's going to happen on the next 30 seconds, the next minute, so he's already prepared. All good. I'm going to anticipate what you're doing. I'm going to counter it, and then I'm going to crush you. And well, the result was a clear 3-0. Hongan Prime didn't stood a chance there. Also, again, I would like to repeat this comment because I already listened to Nesty and read about it on the written interview. Nesty saying that he doesn't know why people keep complaining about Protoss QQ, OP, oh my god, nerf, all of that. He doesn't understand it because for him, he says, it's the easiest matchup for me. I feel really comfortable when I'm playing against Protoss. And it shows. I mean, the guy has the answers. I'm not sure if he has some kind of menacing aura around him, you know, like he uses the dark side of the Force and just... yeah, just pressures his opponents to do what he wants, and he ends up winning the matches like that. What I do know is that when the time comes, when it's clutch time and the pressure is on him, he just brings his guns and wins. 3-0, excellent result for Nesty.
Yeah.
Then he also faced against I'm sorry, I Am Low Zero was the next matchup, and he faced against one of the stars on the rise from Team Xenex Björn. But again, it was 3-0, and the I Am Zergs, my God, I'm not sure what they eat, what the coach gives them to eat every day on the I Am team, but it works. For Zergs, it's working brilliantly. And we ended up having something that never happened before on the GSL history. We're going to have a ZVZ final. It's the next step.
I Am versus I Am, too.
Yeah, I have, well, good things and bad things about it, in my opinion, and then I'm going to pass it to you so you can comment and share your opinion with me. On one side, good things about it. Okay, it's two very solid Zergs, probably amongst the best in the whole world, I would say. I would say at least top 5, both of them. For me personally, I would put like Nesty first, Low Zero like third or fourth on the whole world in Zergs. My personal opinion, obviously people can just argue against that. So on that matter, we're going to have two top world-renowned players duking it out. A negative side, at least for some people, not for me, people don't like ZVZ for some reason. I actually find it amusing. I enjoy it when it gets for those really, really close matchups and really short matchups with like 6-7 minutes. Usually you can enjoy some high octane, high intense battles, micro battles going on. And if you notice that they're just trying to micro each one of those units independently and trying to just take advantage of a flanking position or being able to hit a couple more times this opponent to take a bit more of the HP down. If you notice all of those details, is interesting to watch. Another negative aspect, and that one I think it's negative in my opinion, is that all the money is going to go for Team IM. And I think it should be more distributed, you know? I mean, Team IM has 2 players there. Obviously, they deserve that. But they're basically going to rack up the first and second prize. It's a lot of money for a single team. And I would like to see that even out, you know, more spread amongst all the pro gaming teams. Because like this, you're just basically not feeding, so to speak, or in brackets if you want it, not feeding the other Korean pro gaming teams. And I'm pretty sure that all of them require the sponsorships and the prize monies and so on. Still, that's not an excuse. If those 2 players got to the top and they defeated all of their opponents, it's a well-deserved win for each one of them, and they're going to meet on the finals. So congrats to Team IM. Apparently, they have a very successful project there. What do you think?
Well, you wrapped most of that up nicely, Hydra, so thanks for that. But just had a couple comments to make. I was actually really hoping for the MC versus Nesty battle, the big Clash of Titans, but looks like we're going to have to hold off on that for a while. I would say Losir and Nesty both, I mean, you covered it quite well. They 3-0 victories, or, you know, 3-1 here and there, and just they're looking so dominant right now, and for them to be in the finals, it's a clear cut, as you say. I mean, they deserve the places that they got, and they're just trampling through their opponents right now. And it's really nice to see Losir has come a long way. I mean, he has earned his rank, and, you know, he's worked really hard to get here. So it's nice to see to have seen Losir develop after, you know, for the time that we've been watching him in the GSL. Regarding the finals, as you said, some people don't like ZVZ. I fall into the category of one of those people who don't like ZVZ as much as other matchups. I don't like mirror matchups really that much, as well as ZVT or ZVP stuff like that. But again, it's interesting nonetheless, especially in the hands of very capable players, which we have here in this example. So I mean, I'm not going to be disappointed at all unless it turns into like a 4-0 sweep again, as we've been seeing. It's kind of been the track record lately in the GSL. So as long as the series proves to be, quite long and action-packed, I'm not going to complain. And ZVZ can be very entertaining to watch when the race is being played in the correct hands. Now, regarding the issue you were saying about distribution of money, I'm actually not sure how that works out, because a lot of the teams don't actually tax the players' winnings, I don't think, unless they have a contract with them.
Well, I think in Korea, I'm pretty sure in Korea, because they live on the team house and they have all of those practice partners, I'm pretty sure that there's at least a part of those prize monies that it's shared amongst everyone, or there's a bit that will be taken for the team organization for all the effort that they put and all the stuff that they provide to the players. And that makes sense. That makes sense.
That does make sense, but this is another news topic that we're going to get into later, but kind of, since we're talking about this now, kind of coincides with what we're discussing. I don't know if you heard about Puma is going to be joining Team Evil Geniuses. Yeah. But one of the problems there was that Puma is not under contract, so he can do what he wants to, but that's the whole thing with the coach was upset and pissed off at the Team Evil Geniuses, because mostly things in StarCraft 2 right now are based off of trust, and Puma kind of, I guess, broke that trust or whatever, since he wasn't under a contract. And I guess the money doesn't actually go to the team unless they're under the contract and they have some sort of winnings percentage. That's how I understood it, because the money actually comes from the sponsorships for the team. And so it's actually the team just provides, housing and food for the players. And I don't think, because I read online that TSL didn't actually tax any winnings from Puma. They didn't take the cut because he wasn't under a contract. So I'm not sure how it is for IM team. I'd have to look into that specifically, and I don't want people to quote me, but if
you're looking on you're looking on the stream, take a look at that nuke just melting all the SCVs.
I'm watching that. But SCVs just got vaporized.
Here it comes. Bye-bye. Boom. Oh my god, the pain. If that happened to me, I would just hide under the table and plug the cable from the internet from the PC and say, no, I disconnected. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Just kidding. I'm sorry.
Where was I? Anyways, yeah. So I don't know exactly if the winnings are taxed to Team IM portion of them, because I don't actually know if they're under the contracts or what their what the winnings division is there under the teams, whether the players get to keep it all or some portion goes to the team. I would imagine for a team like IM, some portion of the money goes, but again, don't quote me because I don't know for sure on that. I'd have to look that up. But for me, the big thing in this matchup is going to be the practice. I mean, they're both in the same house, and the two powerhouse Zergs in the IM house. So, I mean, I wonder how much they know each other's strategies, and it's going to be interesting to see what they cook up to face each other for this final. Yeah. What do you think about that?
It's a good question. I read the interviews today after the matchups were done. Both players got interviewed, and they made a translation and posted on TL on a thread the interviews with both players. And Nesty was saying that he's not sure exactly what he's going to do on the following week or so, but he's thinking if he's going to bring a Lozira close to him to check him out and try to give him a bit of information as well in trade, or if he's just going to stay by himself alone, because he says that usually he trains by himself. He doesn't have a lot of people around him, or he doesn't have other gamers evaluating his game. He just sits down on his own and does his thing. But he was considering bringing Lozira close, and they're both from the same team, obviously. I understand that. Also, I'm pretty sure they know each other quite well. They already been playing against each other a million times in the past and practicing against each other. But now there might be a bit of competition there, and it's healthy competition, obviously.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong about it. So I'm pretty sure that Nasty knows that it's against a teammate, but he also knows that it's fine. If I win, the money comes to the same place anywhere. I'm going to get the big cut for me anyway. And if I have to give a share to the team, Lozero will have to give a share of his prize to the team as well, and we both win. So I'm not going to worry about him being a teammate. I'm not going to try to rig anything, so to speak. Obviously, I'm not expecting him to rig anything, but you know what I mean? He's not going to be condescendent in any way. He's not going to be forgiving. He's just going to go there and do what he does to everyone else. He's just going to try to snap Lozero's neck and crush his nerdness so he can take the win out of his hands and get his third title. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Obviously, on Lozero's side, I'm assuming the same thing is going to happen. Both of them are searching for the same thing, but on different perspectives. Nasty wants his third title. If he has 3 titles, he's going to be the only player on the GSL history until now that has 3 titles. So that will place him into history once more. And the Lozera, if he's able to grab 1 title, it's going to be his first one. So it will be having a spot on history, on GSL history as well. So I'm pretty sure both of them will be very motivated to get that win. And I don't think they're even going to think it's my teammate. I sleep on the same house as him. I play with him every day. No, no, no. They can deal with that afterwards. Just,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just gonna
I
sit
imagine when
down
they get
and
into
crush the
that
guy.
booth, all friendships and everything are
Yeah,
out the
yeah,
window. I
definitely.
mean, it's just like with any sport, you know, when you play with your friends,
Yeah, yeah,
friendship goes
yeah,
out the window as soon as you hit the competition floor. I mean, that's just how it
yeah.
is, and that's what
And listen,
that's what
and
brings a good game, you know.
there's another issue. Keep in mind that this is esports. They're sitting in front of a computer. It's not even a big physical sport when you can just destroy the other guy.
Yeah,
Imagine big friend and you're on MMA or boxing or I don't know, football, something really physical that you might get injured out of it. You might have some kind of defensive stance, defensive position if you would be on such position. But I mean, they're just killing roaches, you know, and
yeah.
banelings and
I mean,
zerglings.
yeah, exactly.
Just
So I
go
mean,
for it. Go for it 100%.
exactly. The only pressure they have is on themselves for how they want to, you know, meet the prize and
Yeah,
win.
yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see. I'm mostly interested to see what strategies they use on each other,
Mm.
because you know, coming from the same IM house, that's going to be interesting. And as ZVZ goes, I'm going to be interested to see how that is as well. But not my favorite matchup, but I'm still looking forward to it anyways because of the big name superstars who are playing.
I'm gonna anticipate it here for everyone. Gonna spoil it for everyone. Every game it's gonna go till the 7th match on the best out of 7. It's gonna go till the last match, and every game will be played until there's Broodlords and Ultralisks on the field. So don't worry. It's gonna be very long matchup. It's gonna be awesome to watch. Just take your mind off the fact that might be 6 pool all the way because I don't think that's gonna happen.
All right. Well, I actually have
You have
no
doubts,
idea how
yeah?
things are going to go. So I'm just hoping
Okay.
for a good series because I'm tired of all these pretty one-sided finals. So I'll be happy with a good series.
Yeah,
And
it
may
would
the
be
best
nice. It
man
would be
win.
nice.
So
Yeah, the four zeros have been starting to be a tradition on the GSL, and we don't want that. We don't want that. Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, let's move on with the GSTL. How about that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Go for it.
Alrighty.
Um,
If you
I
guys have
think
been keeping up with the GSL, I'm sure you've been keeping up with the GSTL since they basically go hand in hand. And GSTL is one of those formats that's pretty interesting if you are really into Starcraft 2. I mean, it sometimes the 1v1s get a little bit old, and where it's just the single player going through the brackets. But the team matches, if you're into that, this provides something really fun and interesting to watch, and we get to see a lot of players that we wouldn't normally see. Teams bring up some of their B players or A players that you don't usually get to see in the spotlight, and it's nice to see how
yeah.
players play. And this past week, we've had some pretty interesting results, I would say. Really, really good, especially for the foreign scene.
Hmm.
Anybody who can cheer on for their fans. Huck and QXC were the big superstars for the foreigners. Looking at the results here, the GSTL for the past week, we had OGS versus Prime Clan, with OGS scraping out a victory 4-3 in what was a very great series. It was close, where we had MC taking the first game over Hannibal, and then Bong Bong came in there and toppled MC. So MC's been taking some beatings lately. And
Yeah.
Top came in afterwards. Bong Bong beat him again. Then Nada came in, destroyed Bong Bong. Then we saw Check come in and beat Nada. And then Huck entered the scene and came in there
Oh
for
yeah.
OGS team to save the day with 2 wins in a row, defeating Check and Marine King at the very end. So Huck, quite the amazing player. I mean, all the victories he's been having lately are not flukes at all, because now he's fighting up top here with the best. So, what do you think about these results, Hydra?
Well, I really enjoyed. I watched this live on the stream, if I'm not mistaken. First of all, it's always a joy to see that. I think it was the first time that OGS actually took Huck and placed him on the GSTL representing Team OGS, Team Liquid.
Yeah.
The merge between the two teams. It was
is
the first time that you had Huck just sitting on the booth and playing on the GSTL representing those two teams. And the fact that he was the one turning the table, he was the one that sat down and was able to take 2 victories in a row for Team OGS and actually gave them the final victory 4-3. This was a very close series. If you have the chance to watch this series, please do so. There was some very awesome matchups here. And seeing Huck defeating Czech Prime, and on the final battle you have Huck versus Marine King Prime, this shouldn't be missed. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty awesome to watch. It's really fun, and everyone should just sit down and enjoy it. Also, a lot of big names here. I mean, MC, Top, Nada, Huck, Czech Prime, well, he's not as big as he was back in the days of the beta, but still he's quite good. And Marine King Prime. I like the format from GSTL more than I like the format from GSL, okay? I find it really amusing that you have a bunch of guys, and each one plays a single matchup, and you have the chance of bringing players that are just there to snipe a specific player. All those strategies, I find it really interesting, and I enjoy it. This series 4-3 in favor of OGS, really close and well-recommended series in my opinion. Which was the next one? Tell me.
The next one would be featuring FX Open versus Incredible Miracle. And as we've discussed quite a bit lately, FXO has been struggling, I would say, to get a foothold over in Korea, but surprise, surprise, QXC with the all-kill against Incredible Miracle. Where he beat Horror, BB, Dreamer TT, and MVP was the last player to come in. So QXC, he's been getting the victories here for FXO. And as you guys know, we talked about the merger with FOU last week. I'm not sure if this has anything to bolster their strength or their forces, but QXC just got in the booth and said, that's it. I'm here to do some work, and he just destroyed Incredible Miracle. And as you said before, he just snapped the heads off the nerds and crushed them. And I'm really happy to see QXC perform so well. What do you think, Hydra?
I think it was pretty awesome to watch. I watched this one live as well. Let me try to explain this. There was a lot of people debating. There was a lot of comments saying, oh my god, Incredible Miracle had Nasty and Lozira sitting there on the bench, and they didn't pull them to fight QXC. They brought a lot of B-teamers to try them out against QXC, and that's why QXC won. That is not QXC's fault. It's IM team and their management that has to decide who they're going to get next on the booth. If QXC just sits down and does his work, and keep in mind that you can even claim that, okay, the first 3 opponents, Horror, BBI, and Dreamer TT, none of them is a well-known member from Team IM. I'm pretty sure all of them are B-teamers. They're just starting to practice and evolve inside Team IM. Maybe one day we're going to hear more of them in the future. But the fact is, in that moment, QXC had what it takes to defeat those 3 guys. And then when the clutch time come, when the IM was under the gun and knew that if they lose the next game, they would get an all-kill, and might be a bit shameful for them, you know, especially after all the comments that... a bit embarrassing for them. They decided to bring MVP in. IM MVP is a very solid, a beast of a Terran player. And still QXC defeated the guy. So QXC had a well-deserved win there for FX Open. If IM team didn't decide to put like Nasty, Lozir, and IM MVP on the first 3 matches against QXC, it's their decision. FX Open and QXC doesn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
for me, the only thing
people are gonna downplay this and say, you know, oh, Incredible Miracle sent out their, you know, B players. I mean, that's their problem for underestimating QXC. You know.
Yeah.
And then they panicked and sent MVP in there to hopefully clean up and save them. And QXC was not gonna have any of that, and he just destroyed them. So
he was clearly on the roll. He was on fire after getting those 3 guys. I'm pretty sure he was just thinking, I actually have a chance of doing an all-kill. I'm going to be the first foreigner to do this here on the GSTL. He was just pumped, and MVP showed up and got crushed. I'm not sure if the same thing would happen with Nasty or Lozira, but Only if you have a time machine now and change them, go to some alternate reality, you might be able to discover if that would be the case or not. As things are at the moment, I only have to say congrats to FX Open and to QXE. Brilliant result.
Yeah, excellent. And I would definitely say that the momentum is something that obviously helped him there, because once you get on that roll and then you're hot, you got your confidence up and you're comfortable in the booth and you got the winning going. So, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really glad that it happened for QXC this way, and I hope that this shows some turning point for FX Open in Korea, and it's going to be interesting to see them develop and continue to move on.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
speaking of moving on, let's move on with the last set of results we have here. StarTale versus Hoseo.
Hmm.
First of all, Tassadar came out and was able to beat StarTale Superstar, and then Squirtle made his entrance, one of the big fan favorites from the original
Yeah.
GSTL, the guy who brought in the mothership and had those epic matches with MVP, came in
Yeah,
there
yeah.
and beat Tassadar. And then
Uh-huh.
Hoseo Sculpt came in and did some great work against the big names, Squirtle and
And
July.
July, yeah.
Wow, it's too bad, but hats off to Sculpt for defeating those players. Then we saw Bomber came in and defeated Sculpt, and then Seal came in and cleaned up the rest for Hoseo and defeated Bomber, which was a really great series. Then back and forth, which we saw some lesser-known players and some big-name players go both
Hmm.
directions, up and down here. So I would say that, as you pointed out, Hydra, and as I both pointed out, the GSTL is one of those things that just, it's really interesting for its the way it's set up. You know, you have the certain
Yeah,
players come in for the
yeah,
team, and it's just the one thing that I really enjoy about the team league. And it's nice to
yeah.
see that we're seeing more teams and more players show up, and it's just, it provides entertainment all around. So hats off to Hoseo. They did really good. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. Hostios, the team is fairly recent team. If
Mm-hmm.
you guys are curious about these players, because there are some names there that you might be noticing them from Code A. Some of them are not even on Code A, but you can follow them, for example, on that ICCup Korean Invitational Tournament. Most of them are there, and you can take a look at their play style and see how solid they are. Because as you guys know, competition in Korea is quite high. It's very hard and cutthroat to actually get to that code A. It's a feat. It's kind of complicated. So you end up having some quality players, some solid players fighting their way on code B and so on. And some of these guys from Hoso team are on that specific situation. They're good enough, they're solid players, but they need to keep working to try their luck and grab a spot on Code A and when they get to Code S. Sculp, very good player. Tassadar, people seen it on this month Code A, he did very well.
Mm-hmm.
And Seal is a new Zerg, fairly, I didn't knew the guy, but he's quite solid, did very well against Bomber, brought some new ideas. Now, just for people to have a bit of a laugh, the first player coming out there for StarTale, it's Superstar, ST Superstar. The guy plays
Random.
random. Yeah, he plays random on the ladder, and he's called. I think he's recognized on the ladder in Korean by all the pro gamers as like the super cheesiest guy ever. Okay, I think his nickname is something like Captain Cheese or Mr. Cheese or Super Cheese or
Something
something.
with cheese it is.
Yeah, he just cheeses everyone. He tries his best. He just wants
He's the
quick
action
games.
Jesus of Korea.
Yeah, and the best thing is, if anyone sat down to watch this on the live stream or has the ticket to watch the VODs, Superstar showed up like disguised as a vampire with a little cape and stuff. Yeah, he brought like a
Yeah,
vampire
yeah,
cape,
I
and
know.
yeah, and he was basically having fun. He was having a laugh. The guy was fun, but clearly he's not a finished product, you know? Playing random, I mean, playing random at this level might be a sign that or you're just a genius and you dominate the three races, or you might be having some flaws on your game on each of the races that the other players that only play a single race might not have.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, he got crushed fairly quickly by Tassadar. Tassadar showing that he had what it takes. Also a sign of the quality from Tassadar. Keep in mind that this guy, if I'm not mistaken, he got to the finals of Code A this month. And he's a solid Protoss. I think we're going to hear more of him. Still, we had the Hoseo team defeating 4-2 Team StarTale. And the Hoseo team, one of the most recent teams, starting to gather some nice players there. Maybe we're going to start seeing these guys rising from Code B, and some of them are already on Code A, and there might be the next dominant force, who knows. For now, they defeated Squirtle, July, Bomber, all of them fairly well-known members of the community, and it's a sign they're on the right path, they're on the right way.
I couldn't agree more, and that's another point to make for the team league format, it really helps you develop some players who might not get to see spotlight otherwise.
Yeah, yeah,
So big
yeah.
congrats to Hosio clan, and hopefully they get to be one of the teams on the rise, because I'm always open for more competition and more teams, which I'm sure
Oh yeah.
you're same way about that, huh? Huh?
Yeah, yeah, obviously. I mean, the more the merrier. Competition is always healthy. It's a way of just making the esports grow and StarCraft 2 grow and develop. And if you add the more teams, you're going to get a bit more room, some more spots for more players to come and rise to the occasion. We might end up having some really bad players occasionally, but we're going to find some good ones and maybe some superstars in the middle of those guys. So the more the merrier. Let them come.
Mm-hmm. And wrapping up the last bit of Korean news, let's talk about the ICCup Korean Weekly.
Yeah, yeah.
I know we plugged this last week, and
Uh-huh.
it was probably one of those tournaments that might have gotten a little less spotlight or flown under the radar of some people, but it proved to be an interesting match nonetheless, and especially for people who followed the Korean scene and are interested in Korean players as much as I know you are and I am, and
Yeah. Yeah.
many other people out there, I'm sure, but especially on the show, I know we both love to keep tabs on all the Korean happenings. So what's your evaluation on this event, Hydra? Were you pleased with the results
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
way it turned out?
Well, I liked it quite a lot. I watched most of the matches. Once again, let me repeat that all of these matchups and more from the previous group stage, it's all available on Justin TV on ICCup TV, the channel from ICCup. It's all there for everyone to watch. And it had some really interesting battles there. I would recommend this tournament to anyone that is a fan of the Korean pro gaming scene. And you guys are taking a look at all those names on the brackets. That's basically the final stage, like quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. But you had names like Huck and Puma getting eliminated before this phase.
Mm-hmm.
They got eliminated on the group stage and on the round of 32, if I'm not mistaken, or round of 16. And meaning that these Korean players, they're really solid. I mean, like I was mentioning before, when we were talking about the GSTL, there's some Code B players and some still unknown players that are just waiting for a chance to explode and show us all that they have what it takes. On this tournament, we had the chance of taking a look at some players that are not that well known, but they've been fighting their way and trying to get better on the teams that they're related to, they're involved in. And for example, we had the player that I already uploaded some of his matchups on my channel on YouTube, that Jackji. As you can see, he defeated Zenex Core, and I think it was Core for you before, but now he's Zenex Core. Then he defeated Startail Curious, who is a Code A Zerg, quite a solid one. And then he went all the way to defeat Yonghua, quite well-known player already.
Yonghua is a very well known
Yeah,
player.
yeah, yeah.
So
And he defeated him on the finals 4-1, so a clear win there. And on the other side of the bracket, you had Yonghua defeating Alive, TSL Alive, who was formerly known as Alive for you. Then he defeated Sage. Sage is the new superstar. Well, not a superstar, but the new Protoss on the rise. He came up with some really original and aggressive style to play Protoss, and had a bit of spotlight on him on a previous GSTL, and now here on this ICCup event as well. He's quite a good Protoss, but got defeated 3-0. And then, well, he met up with Jakchi on the finals, with Jakchi winning 4-1. Let me just repeat what I said in the beginning. This is all free. HD, just go on ICCup TV channel, sit down and enjoy it. If you like Korean pro gaming scene, this is the best. I would recommend this to anyone.
mm-hmm. I would say very big congrats to Jakji.
Yeah.
Players that been developing right now, one of those players that has just popped up and just shown his strength, and I would just want to see more of this guy and more of his play, because he just dominated this tournament, and a 4-1 win over I Am Youngwa at the end there is no laughing matter, you know what I'm saying? That's quite a clear victory. And
pretty solid.
The event was really well done. HD streaming provided for free, and then the VODs for free. So I mean, as you said, Hydra, if you guys missed this, go check out the VODs if you're needing something to watch, because I would very much recommend this series.
Yeah, well, I would say that instead of watching some low tournaments, a low quality tournament, or some other stream that it's not that good or doesn't have that big contenders as this one, just take your time and take a look at the VODs. You don't even need to watch all the matchups, obviously, if you can go straight to the finals. But I would recommend it. It's a
Yep.
good tournament, and with some good players, shouldn't be missed.
Exactly. Last bit of news, and then we can finally migrate from the Korean scene, is the up and down matches. Let's I'll roll through those real quickly, and then we can put some comments in about that. The up and down matches here for July, we have Group A is going to feature Marine King Prime, Startail Fruit Dealer, Slayer's Ryung, MVP Dream, and I Am Happy. Group B is going to have Any Pro Prime, SC For You, Hosios Tassadar, ASDF For You, MVP Noblesse. And Group C will have TSL Alive, OGS Inca, MVP Keen, Linok For You, and Hoseo San Van Van. So quite a big collection of players here that are coming in both directions. I would say a lot of players coming up from Code A who are going to be quite big contenders, especially a lot of the FOU players I know had been knocked out of Code S. And it's going to be nice to see for them to get a chance to fight their way back in Code S. And as well, Marine King Prime, we see him in the up and down matches again. And same with Fruit Dealer. This is going to be some interesting matchups we're going to see. It's going to be rough times because Code A has been getting more fearsome as players have been coming up and they're fighting from B to Code A and then Code A into Code S. And the competition is getting steep. So, I mean, a lot of players who had the Code S rank, it's going to be kind of scary to see if they're going to be able to hang on to it or not. So I'll be following the up and down matches with a close eye. What about you, Hydra?
Well, I want to see the up and down. I always love to watch the up and down. And as you can see, we're just mentioning Tassadar, remember? Like when we were talking about the GSTL, there he is. He's fighting for a spot on Code S now.
Well, I mean, he did really well in Code A.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he got really far.
Yeah, the guy's solid.
Yeah.
And if you take a look at these three groups, they're beastly groups, okay? Obviously, there's like the top of the top gamers in Korea are not here, but we still have like Marine King Prime is here. I mean, the guy already went to 2 finals on the GSL. He's a solid Terran. He's just struggling at the moment. I'm not sure what's going to happen with him, but I know that Group A might be the drama group. You know, you have Marine King.
Definitely. I was already thinking about that, and I was pretty much expecting you to say that.
Yeah, I mean, they got Marine King, Fruit Dealer, Slayer's Ryung, I Am Happy, and MVP Dream. Okay, Dream and Happy are probably the underdogs here. And Fruit Dealer, because Fruit Dealer has been in kind of a slump for a long time.
Yeah, Fruit Dealer is one of those players who's always on a roller coaster ride, so...
But still, there's a lot of quality there, okay? There's a lot of quality players. And, for example, I'm curious to see Marine King against Fruit Dealer. And I know that Slayer's Ryung is one of the top players in Team Slayers. And I know that I Am Happy is really good as well. So these guys, when they duke it out against each other, it's going to be intense. Also, keep in mind there's going to be a lot of TVTs on this group. And these players need to sit down and work on their mirror matchups, except for Fruit Dealer, obviously. But all of them are going to have to practice Terran and try to find solutions. Let me mention that, like we commented on a previous show, TVT has been changing a lot, and the Terran play has been changing a lot on the last month. We start to see a lot of Hellion play, a lot of mech play. We start to see as well Banshees backing up the ground forces on late pushes, some Ravens showing up occasionally as well, and I'm not sure exactly how advanced these players are on their builds, if they're going to keep it standard Marine siege tank or if they're going to go further ahead. But I know that in Korea you have to evolve or else you're going to be dead. So let's see which way this Group A will head. Then Group B, Any Pro Prime, the guy is good. SC For You, probably the top Terran or amongst the best on the FOU team, who is now FXO Korea, as we all know, so now he's FXO SC. Then you have Tassadar that got to the finals of Code A. You had ASD For You, I don't know the guy very well, he's probably one of the weakest players on this Group B. And MVP Noblesse has been around for a while. He's not the most solid player ever, but still a decent player. From this Group B, I'm curious to see Any Pro, SC, and Tassadar, obviously. And I'm rooting for Tassadar because the guy worked all his way through Code A, and now he's going to work all his way through Up and Down, and with a bit of luck, he's going to be on Code S next season. I think it was well deserved based on all the work that he did till now. Last group, Group C, TSL Alive, formerly known as Alive for You, OGS Inca, very solid Protoss, MVP Keen, and my favorite Linok for You. I just love the kid for some reason. I don't know what to say. And then and then you had also Van Van, who was formerly known as Bon Zenith.
Yep.
Yeah. On this group, I'm curious to see OGS Inca against Linok for You. Okay. And I am rooting for Linok for You to pass, to get that Code S spot. I'm not sure if he's ready for it or not. Alive, TSL Alive is a solid player. Inca is good as well. MVP Keen is also pretty decent. So Linok is going to have a lot of work there. Still, concluding and just summarizing these up and down matches. Because they're up and down doesn't mean it's just crap games and you're not going to have anything decent to watch. We're going to have some really solid players here. Do not miss this.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have the ticket, you can watch the VODs. If not, just sit down and enjoy the stream when it's on, because you're going to have chances to check Marine King, Fruit Dealer, Linok for You, OGS Inca. I mean, Tassadar. Tassadar is getting a lot of fans because of all he did on Code A, so do not miss this. It's my opinion.
I completely agree, and since it's the up and down matches, people are really going to be fighting for the spots that they really don't want to lose, or they want to obtain and acquire these new Code S spots. And I mean, with the brackets that we've gone over here a couple times, I would say that the mix is relatively even. There's not any superstars that have fallen, such as OGS MC or MVP.
True. True.
I would say the biggest superstar here is Marine King Prime, but all the other players are relatively well balanced, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be some down and dirty grudge matches here to claw their way out of Group A into Code S, or hang on for survival into the Code S. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see exactly what takes place. So I'm looking forward to the matches.
Tell me one thing, for you, the drama group is going to be Group A as well, or?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that already. Since, I mean, when I was reading through the brackets, I noticed that, and I was thinking, man, should I ask as the Hydra? But I was pretty sure that you were going to bring it up already, thinking that Group A was the group death group or drama group. But I kind of agree with that, and I would say Group B is also looking pretty good, because they have Tassadar and
Any Pro, SC.
Any Pro, and then you have SC for you and ASD for you, who SC for you we know is no slouch, and then ASD proved to be a quite strong player in Code A. So I mean, I think B is going to be a really solid group as well. But of course, I just think A is going to be a drama group as well.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go for the next one.
Awesome. Speaking of good quality events, let's move on to my personal favorite. IPL, man. Could this get any better? I mean, it's just awesome week after week, and I know the whole group here at GGRated has just been instantly converted into dedicated fans of the IPL. I mean, I even got the Justin.tv app, and I watch whenever I can on my cell phone if I'm not at the computer. But this past week has been just filled with matches, Hydra. Were you able to catch any of them?
Yeah. Oh, I watched basically, well, I probably missed like a couple of matchups. I watched everything. I have to appreciate and thank IPL and IGN for leaving the VODs for free on HD for us to watch, because usually I do not follow it live. As you know, it's on US time, so it basically starts here around 1 a.m. It's kind of late for me, and then they have the restream during the day here for Europe on the following day. But what I usually do is that I wake up in the morning, and when I have the chance, I just sit down and watch the VOD. So the fact that they leave the VOD for free is just brilliant and awesome for me. I need to thank them for that. But because no tournament is perfect, I just want to just torch IPL just a little bit, okay? It's not a big torch. Don't worry. I still love it. It's awesome. First of all, I know that, as you know, I upload this VOD from GGRated on my YouTube channel, right? And IPL is on me because they instantly went there and got rights over the images that I uploaded on YouTube. They didn't stop me from sharing anything. They allowed me the video to be there on YouTube, but they had the note saying that those images are copyrighted by them, but they will allow me to upload them. All fine, IPL, fair enough. Obviously, I'm taking your work, and on that matter, you have all the right to do so. But because you're doing that, I just like to make a comment that it's going to be a bit random. It doesn't have anything to do directly with that, but it's just me kind of giving an answer back to IPL. Buy some headsets for tastosis. Buy some headsets for tasteless and artosis. They're speaking on a microphone like in a room filled with echo. Come on, just give them some headsets. Seriously. On this week's VODs that they casted, there was people asking what the hell is going on with the sound. What's wrong with the sound? These two guys from Korea don't have a proper microphone? Just buy them one, seriously. It was so lousy, so bad, people had to raise the volume really high and then had a lot of echo on the back. Basically, you know how it sounds, those really crummy, crappy microphones that come on laptops, you know, the cheap ones? Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of sounds like that. A lot of echo. It feels like they're inside on the bottom of a well casting. IPL.
All right, I'm not sure what that has to do with copyrighted images, but
yeah, it's just me being random. It's just me trying to fight back, you know, because
man, don't fight them, embrace them. We want their love and support.
Yeah.
IPL, don't listen to Hydra, listen to me, man. We love your show.
Yeah, listen. They have every right. The images are from them. I don't have anything to do with that. I just need to thank them for actually allowing me to share the images. I was just trying to tell them that.
Just say next time in the thing that all images, all IPL related images are copyright work of you know, IGN.
Yeah, all good. Now, this event IPL for me, or from the online ones, is probably the best one. Okay, or amongst the best. It's clearly top level, exquisite quality for free. HD is just brilliant. On this week, because of that microphone, instead of giving you A+, I'm going to give you an A. Okay,
oh,
but
wow. Big hurt there.
Oh yeah, big pain. Yeah, IGN is just so shocked with me. I can imagine. But still, come on. I'm here at home on my Jurassic dual core, and I don't have a microphone like that one. Just get those guys a microphone, or else I'm going to ask for their address and I'll send them a proper mic myself. Seriously. But anyway,
why don't we get you signed up to work for IGN since you're so advocate there?
IGN, you got a contract? Where do I sign? I'm ready.
Message one of their people and get on there. I mean, you have everybody else YouTube shoutcasters shoutcasting games. I don't see why you can't get in there.
Now let me just go over the games. First of all, brilliant games, was awesome to watch. This week we already had the chance to watch not only the winners bracket, but as well the losers bracket, and we already start to see some gamers that basically got kicked out of the tournament. I mean, they got defeated on the winners bracket, and then they got defeated again on the losers bracket, and then they're out. Now, problem here, it's that we got some big names that got kicked out. Let me tell you names that I'm pretty sure the community likes that got kicked out. Kiwikaki, for example, is out, and he got second place on the previous IPL, on season 1. Another big name, well, big name, so to speak, but I know people like him a lot, and he's quite popular. Destiny got smacked by Sokka, and now got smacked by EG Axlav, and he's out of the tournament as well, 2 defeats. So there's some popular names, some fairly well-known names that are already out, and this shows how solid and how stacked the groups and the players are on IPL Season 2, especially because now they have the North American top stars, but as well they added the European top stars, and there's a lot of competition. For us, it's awesome. I mean, as a viewer, I've been watching some awesome matchups, really cool, really enjoying it, and it's really pleasant to just have this quality games for free. But I'm pretty sure there's some gamers that might not be as happy as I am, as you might imagine. I mean, Kiwikaki, for example, I'm pretty sure he was trying to go the furthest into the tournament as possible, though I know that he has been working on his poker lately. He was on a big tournament not long ago. Well, but still, he was second place last season, so I was wondering if he wouldn't like to go further ahead. And then Destiny,
that's not IGN's problem, that's his problem.
Yeah, of course.
They're playing the poker and play the Starcraft.
Yeah, and Destiny, I mean, he's a very popular, probably amongst the most popular streamers. People say, oh my God, he's like awesome. But on the tournament scene, he's been working on it. I clearly can see evolution. Seems like he's just stepping up his game, and he might be getting there. He might be able to get to a point where he's solid enough to face these players, but it's still not yet. Still, still, I have to applaud him for, first of all, his dedication, his willpower, and his courage to face these guys. I mean, he could just think, "No, I'm not going to go this way. I'm just going to rack up the money from the stream, going to be a streamer, really popular. People are going to say I'm beautiful, I'm awesome, I'm just the best Zerg ever, and I'm never going to play on the tournament scene." But no, he is taking his chances playing on the tournament scene. I think he's going to be now on MLG Anaheim as well, and I have to applaud him for that. Hopefully in the future he's going to be even better than he is now, and besides being a popular streamer, he might start becoming a solid pro gamer.
Yeah.
So, you want to go over the results maybe?
Yeah, let's go over the results here. Should we
Go for
cover
it.
losers bracket first or winners bracket first?
Pick the one you want. I know that losers bracket was the one that started first on the week.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, so let's just cover losers bracket, and we have it listed first here anyway. So, first off here in the IPL Season 2, we had the losers bracket. Dystar losing 2-1 to Complexity's Drewby. Then we have Tarson defeating Fury 2-0, in which was a clear-cut victory there. Then we have Destiny, as you were talking about, losing out to EG Axlav. So, I mean, Destiny, as you were just mentioning verbosely there, he's doing well and popular streamer, so glad that he actually showed up again in IGL Season 2, and hopefully he'll make it in for Season 3. Then we have Six Jacks DDE losing 2-0 to Dark Force, who is a very strong player, so glad to see clear-cut victory there. Then we have Nurchio defeating Kiwikaki 2-0, so Kiwikaki, if you're listening, make sure your StarCraft skills are refined before you start moving on to poker and taking IPL lightly, because it's been buffed with a lot of new players. Then we have Vile State defeating Dignitas's Mers 2-0. And then we have Liquid Ret beating Ranged in what was a really nice series. Ret was actually down one game and then came back to win 2 games in a row, defeating Ranged 2-1, excuse me, which I'm really happy to see Ret stay alive here. I was getting a bit worried. Then we have Coca defeating Complexity's Steak 2-1. Nice series there. That concludes our results for the losers bracket. Now let's move on with the winners bracket. We have everybody's favorite BM machine, EG Idra, facing Complexity Minigun. And this was just a fantastic series. Minigun, a very strong player. I remember watching his live stream plenty of times. And now he's teamed up with Complexity, who many of you guys might know. Cruncher is on that team, so maybe a little bit of incentive there for Idra to crush Complexity Minigun more, but Minigun took the first game, and then Idra kicked it into overdrive and won the following 2 games, so Idra defeated Minigun 2-1. Then we have FXO's Moonin defeating Six Jacks Vibe 2-1. Mao's Thorzane defeating Sake 2-1. Then we have Mao's Mana defeating MSI Phoenix 2-1. Imba Straylock defeating MYM Cloud 2-0. Goody defeated Night End 2-0. Dignitas's Select defeats Lelouch 2-0. And then the Beast from the East, White Raw, my personal favorite, defeating Braddock 2-0. So, go White Raw. I mean, I'm going to be a blatant fanboy here and hope that he wins IPL, because he has been fighting so hard in DreamHack, and he's done so well, and he just did not get the wins in the finals when it counted. So, White Raw, if you're listening, man, do it for me, man. Win IPL Season 2. Are there any special games that you want to commemorate some time here? I know, I'm sure you have something to say about the Idra Minigun matchup, huh?
I mean, you cannot refuse to watch Idra versus Minigun if you're a StarCraft 2 fan.
Yeah, exactly.
You might be Idra fanboy, or you might be Idra hater. Anyway, sit down and watch the matchup. It was really cool. Also, if I recall correctly, there was a bit of BM in between games, because Minigun won the first game, and then when the second game started, I'm pretty sure they were already talking about when they were on the lobby waiting for Game 2 to start, and you just read like the final part of the discussion between them two, with Minigun saying something like, "Hey man, I just did to you what you did to the other guy on MLG," or something.
Yeah.
and Idra just replies, I'm not Protoss." But it was fairly civilized, okay? None of that harsh BM that sometimes occurs. No, quite civilized. They were just talking with each other. But you guys can go on on IGN Pro League on Justin TV and watch all of that. It's all there. Still, obviously, Hydra versus Minigun was a really interesting series, but there was more solid series there. Very recommended, at least in my opinion. And keep in mind that I would recommend you guys to take a look at some of the losers bracket, because as you might imagine, on the losers bracket, there's a lot of pressure. If you lose the game there, you're out of the tournament. And we're talking about
Rhett. I mean, I did not want to see Rhett go out, and I was quite a bit worried.
And as you know, there's like first prize is $15,000 if I'm not mistaken, 50,000, right? It is. It is.
We'll
First prize.
that.
Yeah. First prize is 50,000, meaning that there's a lot of money at stake, and you want to go the furthest you can. So I mean, you have all of a sudden Kiwikaki got out, okay? Then you had Red facing ranged, and he was able to take the win 2-1. So this series shouldn't be missed. You have as well Destiny versus Axlav was a really cool series. Destiny was able to stand his ground and try to show some resistance to Axlav. He wasn't strong enough, but still was a really close matchup. Recommended. I would watch it again. Also, Dark Force against Six Jacks DDE. Cool matchup. So from the losers bracket, there's several matchups that I would sit down and watch again. Obviously, Nurchio versus Kiwikaki. Don't miss that. It's cool. And then from the winners bracket, Hydra versus Minigun. No questions, obviously. And then as well, Thorzane versus Sokka. Do not miss that. It's good. Okay, it's good. We also have Select versus Lelouch. It's a cool series. Those Select clear win there 2-0. It's an interesting series to watch. It's one of the top Terrans from the North American side against one of the top Zergs from the European side. It's interesting to see how they fare against each other. And basically that's it. Obviously White-Ra, but I mean White-Ra versus Bratok. It shouldn't be avoided. Like, even if you don't like the player, just sit down and watch it. It's a solid PVT between two of the top players here on the European side of the community. Shouldn't be ignored. I wasn't even mentioning it because you already mentioned, and you were just rooting for White-Ra. Obviously, Grandpa Toss is awesome with his push and special tactics.
Special tactics.
He's more than awesome. So all of these games should be missed. And I don't know. I rather sit down and watch these VODs. Just go now on Justin TV and type IGN Pro League and watch those VODs. Then watch some random weekly tournament with players that you don't know, just because it's live on a stream. I know people like to participate on the chat and watch stuff live, but I mean, if you miss those matchups, just sit down and watch them. You're going to enjoy them. You're going to like them.
Yeah. And if anybody from IGN does hear this or listen to this and wants to comment back to us, please look us up on Team Liquid, GGRated, or tweet to us or something. I mean, we'd love to work with you guys and just promote your stuff even more. We're not trying to steal anything from you or take advantage of your copyrighted material. We're just trying to spread the word and bring you guys more viewers. And we do this completely non-profit. So I mean, if there's anything we can do to work with you guys, we're all for it. You agree, Hydra?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no questions asked about that, obviously.
Yeah, so
and,
I mean, we're not looking for money or anything. We're just looking for the love of the game, and I'll probably end up messaging them. So, because I've messaged them and talked to them before and tell them that we're talking about their stuff, and they've retweeted me. So, hopefully we can work something out with them, maybe, and because I know they're quite involved with the community, and especially shoutcasters on YouTube and stuff. So, if we just maybe explain to them what we're doing, and I'm sure there'll be no problems with them, but it's all good. And guys, definitely check out the VODs, HD, free, great casting, great games, which is most important, and it's always there and ready for you to check it out. So I mean, I would say stay tuned and just keep following it. That's about all I have to say. Any further comments on that, Hydra? Because there's some other news topics I'd like to talk about.
Yeah, well, for now, I think you should just move to the next topic. I would like to mention that Gladiator Week that Sebastian is making, but I'll just do it in the end. It's not a big deal.
Let's do that when we do the shout-outs and close off.
Yeah. Go for it.
Did you see any of the news this week with...
Plenty.
Yeah, there was lots of news this week. Did you see that Sheth is going to be parting ways with FXO? I mean, we kind of suspected that a little bit as he was leaving Korea, but... he was returning back home, and now it's official that Sheth has parted ways with FXO, and
Hmm.
there's no bad blood in the water at all. It was completely mutual on both sides, and
Yeah, yeah,
the team and the player both wanted to pursue different directions in StarCraft 2, which is, I mean, completely understandable. So, I mean, it was
yeah.
nice that that was resolved, and there's no hard feelings whatsoever, and there's still, you know, FXO is friends with Sheth, so hopefully Sheth continues on with his endeavors, and much success to him. What do you
Well,
think?
I think it makes sense. We've been seeing what's the moves that FXO has been making on the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They just completely acquired Team FOU and made FXO Korea. Then their team FXO is based in Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, they have their base of operations in Asia, and they're focusing on the Korean pro gaming scene.
Yeah.
That's why they acquired the whole team FOU. And you have a player of that team, Sheth, that is American, does not want to stay in Korea and wants to head back home. I mean, if he would still be in FXO, he would be away, very far away from everything going on the team. So, in a certain way, it makes sense for him to just part away from Team FXO. Obviously, Sheth has his stream. He also knows how big and how intense the North American community is going on about StarCraft 2 at the moment. There's a lot of tournaments, a lot of money to earn, plenty of good teams as well. And he might just want to show up and say, hey man, I'm free. I'm free. Everyone knows me. I'm Sheth. You guys want me? You know, and he's just putting himself on display, see who's going to pick him. And I'm pretty sure that sooner or later, one of the major teams in North America will pick Sheth. Let me just give you an example. I didn't see it with the. I wouldn't see any problem in seeing him in Complexity or Evil Genius, one of those teams, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. It made
perfectly
complete
normal.
sense. I mean, North
Yeah,
American-based teams, and that's where he wants to be in
yeah,
North America. So, I mean,
yeah. I mean, and he
there's
would.
plenty of
You
options for him to take, and I'm sure he's going to get
listen.
picked up.
Listen, you would be making the whole North American circuit for sure on one of those teams. You probably would have the chance to show up in Europe occasionally for some of the big events. It would be fine and dandy. So I'm pretty sure that that's what's going on through his mind. And also, I'm pretty sure that some teams have contacted him already, and he might just trying to make his decision, which way shall I go? So soon enough, we might be having some news from Chef. Makes perfect sense, and FXO is clearly focused on the Asian side. So good luck for FXO, good luck for Chef. And as you said, there's no bad blood between them. Everything is fine. So life goes on.
Yep. Another news topic I would like to just point out was the whole incident here with Puma being acquired by Team Evil Geniuses. I don't know, did you get a chance to read up on all that, the drama
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, well, I have a much simpler perspective over the subject, but
Well,
yeah, I did. I did.
yeah, okay, I'm going to just summarize it for people. Um, if you guys had paid attention at all, Puma was in the NASL finals, and he was the winner in the past NASL finals. And during that event, he was approached by Team Evil Geniuses, and they made an offer to him to join their team. And he accepted that offer, and he let his coach know that he's going to be departing, and he's going to be picked up by Team Evil Geniuses. And then the team for, or the coach, Coach Lee for Team TSL had tweeted and put out that he was a bit frustrated and
Yeah.
irritated about the way things had conspired and gone down, because right now, we discussed this a little bit earlier, beginning in the show, that trust is the main source of bond and contract between players and their team. Especially in Puma's case, he wasn't under a contract. It was more of a player that Coach Lee had brought up, and I can understand his feeling of being, this player has been taken out from under his feet.
Yeah.
I mean, TSL has been losing a lot of players, especially lately, and then over the past history of the team's league, they have lost a lot of players who have moved on to other players, and especially some big name players. I know Dongre Gu is one other player that comes to mind. But
Yeah.
there's no contract that was binding Puma, and I guess if you want to fix these things, you got to have a contract that says, listen, this player belongs to us, and you have to deal with the team and the coach specifically, because Puma wasn't giving any of the winnings. He wasn't taxed. From what I read, none of the winnings that he earned from the NASL event were taxed, and the team house was specifically just for housing and food and for training, and that was all provided through team sponsorships. So, yeah, a little bit of drama there, but looks like Puma is going to be joining Team Evil Geniuses. What do you think
Yeah.
about this Hydra? I'm sure you have something to say.
Yeah, but I'm not going to make, well, I could make it really short, but I'm going to try to explain the best I can about at least my perspective over it. First of all, Asian on this situation, on this specific matter, South Korea society is quite different from a European or North American one. They have a different perspective over relationships and dedication and commitment and all of that. So I'm pretty sure that Coach Lee is appealing more to that sense of responsibility, you know?
Yeah,
It's more
the
like,
respect and the honor.
yeah, respect, honor, dedication, commitment, sacrifice towards an objective that everyone is in a group working towards it. But the fact is that in professional sports, and I'm going to try to extrapolate, I'm going to try to get a bit out of esports, but I mean, it happens every day on football and other sports. Big name, young kid, 17 years old, 18 years old, big name. He's playing on this club. Club has contract with him. No, let's go get him. It happens a lot of.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's not under a contract. It was just you know, trust and the honor thing. And, you know, he went where the team, EG, is going to pay him. He's going to have a nice, stable career here. He's going to be making the rounds. He's going to be tearing up the North American scene, and he's going to be under a contract. So, I mean,
listen,
if you want this to be fixed, you got to have a contract.
Yeah, listen, I know that on the US you have a lot of the rookies that come from the universities and you get the drafts and all of that. But for example, on soccer or football, we call it here football. But on football here, soccer, we have that happening every day. Like, young kid looks good. Some guy from other team goes and check him out. Do you have contract with this team? No, I'm just training here. They still didn't offer me a contract. To just pick him up and grab him. I mean, it's life, okay? And I'm going to try to pass that into esports. Though I know they're different things. It's not exactly the same, at least not for now. Hopefully one day we might get there. But the fact is that Puma had basically meals and a place to stay while he was playing on the team in Korea, and all of a sudden he actually has an offer with a paid monthly wage and good life conditions, good living conditions. He's probably gonna have better conditions living because he's going to get the wage, the payment, and all of that living in the US than staying in Korea. Obviously, his coach is appealing to the fact that you stayed all this time here. We always helped you. We kept you fed. We kept you well fed. We kept you well treated. We gave you a place for you to practice. And now that you're awesome, that you're good, you're just leaving us. But what the coach is forgetting is, if you recognize quality on the guy, just grab him. Why did you have him with no contract? Just grab the guy. Seriously, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He was still trusting on those. Cultural issues, on the fact that the commitment, the sacrifice, the honor, the responsibility on his mind was still waiting a lot, was just I don't know, maybe he was still stuck on the days of Brood War and thinking that Koreans don't go for foreign teams. What are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. But StarCraft 2 isn't Brood War, and also we know that StarCraft 2 isn't that big in Korea yet, okay? So meaning that it's possible, and there's a lot of Korean players leaving at the moment Korea to play on foreign teams. The foreign community for StarCraft 2 is kind of big. There's big teams playing wages. They pay money for the players. It's not only a meal and a place to sleep and a computer to practice. And the players are humans. Come on. I mean, you're just saying, listen, I'm going to pay you X amount per month. Per month, you're going to have a place to stay, the meals, and you're going to be able to play in the foreign scene. As we already discussed, in Korea you have GSL, GSTL, doesn't matter. You have the events organized by GomTV. Basically, they sit to play 1 or 2 events, all of them from GomTV, during the whole month. And if they come out to the foreign scene, they have 1 million tournaments to play. And they're going to stop having that big, nasty lag. They can play on all the online stuff as well. So, I mean, it's win-win. I can put myself on the place of a Korean pro gamer on Puma's shoes and imagine, okay, the coach, yes, the coach was so nice to me. He always helped me, took care of me so well. But the guys are just paying me really good money, and I'm going to have a chance of playing on the foreign scene. I'm going to love that. It's his dream. It's part of something that he desires. As a human being, and we're not talking about someone with 60 years old, we're talking about a kid with 18, 20, 22 years old. He wants to see the world, and he's going to get paid to see the world. Hell yeah, let's go. My opinion. My opinion. Now, let me just summarize this on a very simple line. TSL team, want Puma, get a contract. You had other players under contract, just get a contract for him as well. If he didn't have the contract, it's because you didn't evaluate him as you should. Some other team did, some other team decided to pay the money. Tough, life goes on. Next time, offer a contract to the next rising superstar. It's just the way things are. The foreign scene is much bigger now than it was back in the days of Brood War, and the Koreans need to realize that. So, yes, I don't like cutthroat competition. I do not like that, the backstabbing, but I do understand that the player that doesn't have a contract decides to go to another team that offers him a contract. I understand that perfectly.
Yeah, I think we both voiced the same conclusion that it needs to be fixed through contract. I mean, said that a couple times, and that's the only way to fix it. But it's nice to see that you're passionate about that, man. You got a little bit fiery there.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine myself on
yeah,
these
no,
shoes.
it's good. It's good. That's
Come
awesome.
on.
It's all
Some
good.
guy, imagine EG offering me, and this is speculation. I didn't check any contract. I don't know the amount, but imagine that he offers you $5,000 a month. Are you kidding me? I'm not going. Why not?
I mean, yeah,
Because
he's
I
going to
have-
get everything that he was getting there plus more. You know, chance to travel.
Come on.
He's going to ravage the North American scene. He's going to
Just-
be paid for it. So, I mean, like, he's not going to be
Listen,
doing this
just-
for free and trying to earn a living through
just-
winnings. He's going to be getting
ju-
paid, and he's going to be, you know, getting his winnings as well. So, I
Iceman.
mean, it's
Iceman.
just a great deal.
Listen, reason with me, and try to place yourself on Puma's shoes. You're gonna get paid. Let's imagine
I'm not,
$5,000.
dude, I'm not arguing with you. You don't have to
Wait.
get worked up about it.
I
I'm
know,
not-
I know. But reason with me. Imagine that he decides to spend 1 year out of Korea. In 1 year, 5,000 a month, plus the prices that he's probably gonna get on online tournaments and big events, because Puma is kind of good. Okay, he
Kinda
has what
good.
it
I
ta-
mean,
yeah,
I would say
he
he's
has what
really
he,
good. It's
Yeah.
not just that, but he's going to get more exposure and fame as
Yeah.
well. I mean,
Yeah, he has what it takes to win big tournaments, both in Europe and North America. He's going to be able to play on online events, and he's still on all of that. On top of that, he's going to have the monthly wage. Imagine 5,000. He's going to be stacked, loaded in money in the end of that year. He can even decide to go back to Korea then if he feels like it, and he's going to get a team. If it's not going to be TSL, it's going to be another one. So, on a business standpoint, and on his desire level of going out and finding out what's on about the foreign scene, because everyone talks about the big foreign scene outside of Korea for Starcraft 2, it's irresistible. So I understand the guy perfectly.
yeah, I think we beat that horse to death. But
Yeah,
there's-
enough.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many news topics this week. I'm just gonna mention a couple things here that I saw in the headlines. MLG Anaheim schedule was put up in more detail. We're gonna have White Raw and Jinro in Anaheim now. Go White Raw, can't get enough of him. Husky and Mr. Bitter are gonna be casting for any fans out there. And I know you said that we were talking before the show. Mr. Bitter is now with the oh man, I just had a memory loss here. Help me out, Hydra.
I was trying to reply on the chat. Could you repeat it, please?
Oh,
I was trying.
I just my brain just skipped. Who did Mr. Bitter just?
Oh yeah. Mr. Bitter just got. Apparently, he's going to be a caster for ESL.
Yeah, ESL. Man, I just lost my memory all of a sudden.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's gonna be another big thing there. Then we also have the news with another merger between a foreign team and a Korean team. We have Team Dignitas is signing with. Not a merger, but acquirement of a player. Team Dignitas signs Tang Dong Ho, formerly from Zenix, and then we have Complexity and MVP partnering up. So I mean,
More Koreans coming
and,
out.
Foreigners mixing together. This is really nice to see. I mean, it's becoming a new trend of topics in the news lately.
Yeah, I'm going to make a Portuguese team, going to invite Julizerg and feed him burgers the whole day. It's going to be awesome. I mean...
Yeah, I think if that happens, he's going to die of a heart attack or cholesterol
He won't.
problems.
I'll take care of him. Come on, I'm a super fanboy. I'm going to take good care of him. Don't worry, July, you're going to be fine. But anyway, I mean, you see that the Koreans are coming out. And you notice as well that, at least on some of those specific situations, on some of those issues, it's B-teamers or players that don't have that professional contract, so to speak, or they're not like main references on their teams. And foreign teams realize that, wait, this guy's a B-teamer here, but the guy is good. We know that the Koreans and the Korean pro gaming scene is really hard because they have a lot of quality players fighting for not that many spots. So you end up having B-teamers that are really good.
Yeah,
And
exactly. I mean, it just makes sense. They're going to get better practice. They're going to get more
yeah,
exposure. They're going to help,
yeah.
you know, the foreign team out. So I mean, it's really good to see this, and I think it's a better use of the players this way, and it's going to be
It's win-win. My
yeah, it's a
opinion,
win-win
it's
situation.
my opinion, it's win-win, and it seems to me I'm not gonna keep hitting on this key, keep pushing this button, but on my opinion, the StarCraft 2 scene on the foreign side, on Europe and North America, is really big, really big. There's a lot of money to cash in, and I know that the Korean pro scene is the best quality-wise, best players and all of that. But there's a lot of money to make outside, and there's a lot of Korean players that maybe they just don't want to be fed, sleep, and play the game the whole day. Maybe they want some money as well.
Yeah. So I mean, makes sense. But
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to discuss. Any last news topics you want to pull up before we sign off here?
No, just want to plug Sebastian. Can I do it now?
Yeah, let's just plug Sebastian's thing. He sent me an email, sent you an email. He's been doing the GG Coliseum, the GG Vision, and now he's doing the Player Coliseum, and now he's got
Yep.
he has got that featured. The first one with the Coliseum event is now featured on the Team Liquid Pro site, so you guys definitely want to check that out. And he's been putting a lot of time in behind the scenes. He's been working hard, so make sure you check out the Liquid Coliseum GG Vision first event featuring Liquid Hey Pro.
Yeah.
That's about it. I would say just go search for that. It's on the front page there in the columns on teamliquid.net, and I think it's been getting a pretty good response so far. But check it out, guys.
I'm gonna add the link to the VOD on YouTube after I upload this GGRated, and basically he's gonna make a gladiator week with Liquid Hey Pro facing other top gamers, top players, and at the same time providing a bit of visibility for Hey Pro for people to realize who he is. I know that Hey Pro has been in kind of a slump here in StarCraft 2, but that guy won several dream hacks back on the days of Brood War, so he has it in him. I'm just not sure what's happening. He feels like he has one of those writer blocks, you know, one of those mental blocks. Everything is in there, the potential is there, but it doesn't explode. So maybe we'll see more of him soon. I think he's going to be on MLG Anaheim. He's on Group A, if I'm not mistaken. So he's going to have another chance to show us that he has what it takes, and I'm totally wrong when I say that he's on a slump. We'll see.
Yep. So guys, definitely check it out. It's easy to find. It's on Team Liquid's Team Liquid Pro page, so make sure you check that out and show GGRated, one of our members, some love, because he's doing big things. But that's it for this week's show. I know we had lots of news to discuss and a lot of results, and it was really good stuff, and I'm looking forward to what's going to be happening in the next week here, because IGN Pro League, I can't get enough of that. But any sign-offs for you, Hydra? Shout-outs?
I just want to say that if you guys want to take a look at some Korean pro gaming, just go on my channel. I have plenty there. I've been following a lot of games from Xenex Hack, and probably tomorrow we'll start a series with Polt Prime involved in it. So I think there's some interesting matchups for people that enjoy the Korean pro gaming scene. Just show up and feel free to watch whatever you want and criticize or applaud. Do as you feel like it. I'm going to keep uploading more and more matches, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy all of them.
Yep. I know I always enjoy watching them, so keep it coming, and hopefully you guys will check that out. And guys, if you like the show and you like listening to the podcast, make sure to share it with your friends and spread the news, because we're doing this every week, but we want to have more people tune in and more people to check out the show. So follow us on Twitter. It's GGRated on Twitter, and follow us on Justin.tv. That's GGRated as well. And we have a comment thread on Team Liquid, so if you want, show us some love there, and hopefully we can get featured on the stream list. I know quite a few people have been commenting about that we're not on the features stream, and they would love to have this show on there, since we bring the perspective of the Korean results to the Western world, and hopefully we get featured there. So thanks, guys, for showing all the love, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys again next week. And until then, GG. Hit that button. Yeah, thanks, man. Awesome. So see you guys later. Have fun.
See ya.